What's the crack? What's the bleeding story? How yous all doing? Hope yous are well. There's a lot to go through tonight. I had to bring in the reinforcements. There's no fucking messing here tonight. We have to lay it out all on the table. I just want to say, just if you're new around here, please subscribe. Hit the old like button. We'll try and get a good few likes today if you don't mind. Really do appreciate it. Before I introduce the legends in the group here, let's talk to the legends that are in the chat just real quick. AFC is in the house. Big up Craig. Why change the system for fuck's sake? Yes. Hi Warren. Luke is there just saying hello to Warren. Big up. AFC always right all along. Arteta out. Let me just, Darren is here already, but I'm sure he'll evaluate this situation. Get out of our club, Edu, Kroenke, Arteta. Arteta's substitutions made no sense. It was badly man-managed. We'll be talking about that. Delboy and Kyle, the volcano, will let the cliff flip the cliff. Yeah, fucking, I can't even fucking pronounce me shit at the minute. Send that link over, Del. I'll jump on and have a rant as well. Been a while. Yes, mate, I will. What I'll do is I have Static coming on here, and I can only have 6 on in a minute. But I'll give Static another few minutes, and if he can't, we'll do a swap over. Absolutely. Craig, this time last season we were 8 points clear of Man City. Fast forward 12 months. At this stage, we are 2 points behind Man City with 6 games to go. The title gone, season finished. And on Craig's there, big up panel, big up to you, mate. Thanks for dropping by. McManus in the gaff. Arteta out, Edu out. I'm fucking done. Exactly. A lot of frustration here. Fraud Teta, clueless management, tactics, back again. Backfiring again. Yep. Ryan's in the gaff. Big up, Ryan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Luke is in the gaff. Hi, Del. And then second bottom of the Irish League, 4th Division, Cove Ramblers, finest. Fucking disgrace. Big up, Gav, mate. Hope you're well. Kyle Walsh, great to see you back, big fella. Yes, exactly. Acers is in the gaff as well. Stan Kroenke only brought Arsenal for money, not trophies. And on that note, let's introduce our guests here. Kyle Walsh is in the gaff. Hope you're doing well, mate. How are you keeping?
Yeah, that boy, great to be here with the whole lot of the legends here on the screen and the legends in the chat. It's great to get back into it. I've been out of action for a long time there with the legs and stuff like that. But listen, it's hard to keep the volcano down. I keep pushing forward, and hopefully I'll be starting. Next week is a big week for me. I'm going back to see the specialist. So fingers crossed, I'll be on the right path. So pretty big week ahead of me. So let's see what happens. But great to be here. Have to have some steam here, and things have to be said there, boy, because I'm sick to death of the bullshit that's going on about this club of ours and this manager. So let's get this show on, and no better lads to be with here tonight. So big up to you all, and I'm delighted to be back.
Good stuff, good man, and we're absolutely delighted to have you back because you're a fucking legend. I'll come back to you now in a minute, but I just want to introduce another fucking legend straight off Strictly Come Dancing. It's Tony Adams, it's Darren Sullivan. Sorry.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks, Del Boy, for having us on and being alongside all the great lads in the chat and on the screens here. Coming live from suburbia of Greater London, the west side of the capital. I'm in Kenny Ken's Airbnb again this evening.
Yeah.
Just plotting up, looking forward to talking about the disgrace. I feel a bit better today, but I'll tell you what, last night I actually felt very, very ill. When I see us crash like this, it affects me badly. I start eating all sorts of rubbish food, and I never eat the booze, but you know, I just feel ill when this sort of shit happens, and it's horrible. It's horrible because for all the dislike of Arteta for all season, I've still got this faint hope that I'm going to be the one in the wrong, and something nice is going to happen. But yet again, we're all proved right. But anyway. Move on, and looking forward to the show.
Yeah, lovely. Good man, Darren. Cheers, mate. Manny, the senior analyst here. Big up, B. Thanks a million for dropping by.
No, thank you for inviting me. And I'm not too sure you can call me senior when I've got 2 senior venerated fans, one sitting to my sitting in the centre of the screen and one sitting above me who've been Arsenal fans longer than I've been alive, I would say. But any chance I get to come on your channel and talk, it's always a privilege, always a pleasure to be in the company of such, as you would say, for want of a nicer word, legends, although that word doesn't do them any justice. And special word to Mr. Walsh. I hope you are doing okay, no matter what. And let me also tell you that no matter what's going on in your life, you have nothing but our utmost support and our best wishes. All
Thanks,
for one.
Manny.
But yeah, so thanks, Manny. Warren, big up to you, mate. Thanks for dropping by. You haven't been on the show in a while, so hope you're doing well, first of all.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me on, Del Boy. And I'm absolutely delighted to see Mr. Walsh back. And I have been extremely concerned about him, I have to say. It was really upsetting me to know that he was so unwell. And it's just good to see him back. I have to say, mate, you look well, if nothing else. But, you just need to keep punching and keep bobbing and weaving and ducking and diving. And you've always got a fighter's chance, mate. Just keep punching. That's all I can say.
Thanks, Warren, man, and I appreciate the support all throughout it, buddy. You're a brother of mine. Thanks very much. Manny, the same. Thanks very much. And everyone else that wish me all the best. I really appreciate it. And without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I really appreciate it. And let's keep boxing. Let's keep punching.
Exactly. Good man, mate. And finally, last but not least, Static is in the gaff. What's the story, mate? How are you?
Hey, Del Boy. Hey, panel. Sorry, I just arrived now. Sorry if I'm running late. I'm good, guys. I'm just so tired and drained of this damn football club. It's happened again. It's happened again. Arsenal Football Club. It's happened again. I'm looking forward to what's going to be yet another explosive show.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure
Kyle,
here.
And I just want to say, Carl, it's really good to see you again, man. And I hope everything's well with you.
Big up, Static. I really appreciate it, brother.
Well, we already know, when you come on to Del Boy show, something happens, and I'll tell you it's going to happen here today. And first thing we found out today is that Static will never be in the Eurovision with that singing he's doing there. But let's get into it. Kyle, it's great, as it says, to have you back and stuff like that. You said to me about this time last year, probably even before that, you says, Del, Arsenal are winning nothing this season. You were right. You said all through, I'd say even I'd say after Christmas, Del, Arsenal are winning nothing this season. It looks like you're right. What happened, first of all? Let's sort of talk about the game yesterday. We'll start early, I suppose. The selection, for me, Zinchenko, if I was in the stadium, I probably would have ran onto the pitch and pulled him off the fucking pitch. And I'm not joking with you. Like, as Darren said earlier on, I physically could not do a call-in show yesterday. I was so fucking angry. When that second goal went in, I was watching it here with my friends and I just turned off the telly. I didn't actually turn off the telly. I told me mate, just unplug the fucking telly because I'll pull it off the fucking wall. And that's how angry I was. You know what I mean? And you have the likes of Zinchenko there, Ben White as well. I won't go too hard on him, Ben White, because he has been doing okay. But I'll tell you, Zinchenko was a big fucking problem for me. But for you, where was the problem? Where did the problem start for you yesterday?
That boy wasn't yesterday, my friend. The problem is the last 4 years. We can sit here and we can blame players and say this about players, but it all comes down to the manager at the end of the day. He's the one that puts the players out there. He's the one that's dealing with the players on a daily basis and all the rest of it. Once again, Arteta, being the arrogant prick that he is, messed up a winning system. Why break something if it's not broken? And you're bringing on, I totally agree with you. I wouldn't push Zinchenko on another 10 team. But let me tell you that why. I was sitting back last Tuesday night and I watched the Champions League game against Bayern Munich. And I rang my brother, who's a Man United fan, and if he was here, he'd tell you. And I rang my father, who's a Liverpool fan. And I told the two of them at the end of that game, season over. And they said to me, what do you mean? I said, I saw a team there today that's fatigued, that's out of ideas. I see a manager that's playing the same bullshit day in, day out for the last 4 years. I don't see no change with that boy. And I said, this is the end of the season. And what happens? What happens? How the fuck can I go into a bookies and put money on Aston Villa to beat Arsenal yesterday? Because I knew they were going to beat Arsenal yesterday. And here we are today, and everybody is wondering what went wrong. They're not fucking good enough, that boy. I've been saying this for months on end. The manager is not up to the standard. He's not good enough for this club. Players are overhyped. And Darren is an Englishman, static, and I have to say this. From where we're from, they gasses up these English players like they're gods. And they're not fucking gods.
Well, Ben White's not English.
Sack it. Sack it. Sack it, for example. They're making this fellow to be fucking world class. Foden is twice the player. I'm sick of it. Declan Rice, the best order midfielder in world football. Bullshit. He couldn't even block a runner for Bayern Munich the other night when he saw the danger. It's all bollocks. Overhyped, overpaid, and they're fucking winning nothing again. But I said this to you, Del Boy. I told you a couple of weeks ago you done a show, my friend, and you were all excited, and I could see in you, you were on the buzz, you thought this was going to be, and I wrote in on the show, and you said I was after destroying you. I simply say, big up, Del Boy. We are winning fucking nothing. And we're not going to win nothing. So let's get down to it. What's going to happen in the summer? Is Arteta going to be still there? Is Edu going to be still there? Is the Kroenke going to be still there? Answer, yes. And what are we going to win next season? I'm going to tell you right now about next season. We're winning fucking nothing again next season.
Yeah.
I might not have answered your question there, boy. But I'm telling you here and now, we were outclassed yesterday by Unai Emery, who's 10 times a better manager than Arteta ever will be. And what did the Arsenal fan base do? Laugh at him because he couldn't speak English. I'd rather have Unai Emery than Arteta, let me tell you. It's a fucking embarrassment. The whole thing is a fucking disgrace.
Darren, for you, I suppose I'll repeat the question. Where did it go wrong yesterday? What was your thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought that for a start, there's too much chopping and changing around. He didn't start Trossard and Jesus against Bayern Munich. So my first question is, why are you going to start them against Aston Villa? And then when you start them against Aston Villa, are you leaving them out for the second leg? When you get a team, a powerful team that are going to win trophies, trebles, doubles, singles, whatever, you have some continuity. Arteta's never had that. He's always been chopping and changing things around far, far, far too much. And you have got to introduce players and rest and rotate. But his way he goes about being Arsenal Football Club's manager, he's like a FIFA child, it's childlike FIFA stuff, which is a good manager like Mourinho or Allegri or Conte or Don Carlo would not be doing any of this stuff. So now I get on to Zinchenko, he's actually competing. I think he's probably my most disliked Arsenal player, slightly ahead of Odegaard and Ben White at the moment. So just now, if I was a complete freak of a conspiracy theorist, and I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist with things, but if I was a real out-and-out conspiracy theorist, I'd be wondering if Mikel Arteta is on a wage from Man City and the Arabic owners, right? along with Jesus. They're last night or yesterday sabotaging our trophy credentials and our chances of winning the trophy because all I saw was a player that should be at left back playing at right back. First of all, he gets robbed by Tillemans, who then thunders a shot off the crossbar and scores what would have been a spectacular first goal for Aston Villa. So what is he doing in the right back position? Then for both goals, he's not in the left back position. The first ball gets whipped across, he's nowhere to be seen. The second one, again, nowhere to be seen. Smith Rowe is chasing back and there's no centre backs. But I've watched a couple of other streams and people are telling me when these goals are going in, he's in the number 10 position. Now, rewind a bit to the Bayern Munich game when he was on. Even when he comes into midfield, all he's doing is looking up, seeing that there's nothing on, and then passing the ball out to a player at the side of the pitch again. It's almost like Arteta's gone and signed a couple of his old mates. And the other thing I noticed was before the first goal went in yesterday, Zinchenko got done down the left. And instead of him chasing back and trying to catch the player down the left, he runs into Gabriel's place and then Gabriel comes across and covers for him. Now, we've all probably been in jobs. We're all seasoned statesmen, right? We've joined jobs and we've been in teams and we've done various things in our life where you turn up as an outsider and there's a little click and you're not in it. It almost suggests to me that Zinchenko can take the pitch for Arsenal and do what he likes and nobody is going to have it out of him. Ben White tried to have it out of him a few games back, right? But it's almost like Zinchenko can do what he likes. Jesus can do what he likes, run where he likes, does what he likes. And I've no doubt if any of those other players question it with a manager or front up the two individuals, they're going to get bullied, sold, put on the bench, never played again, right? They're going to get all that. And Arteta's biggest, worst thing he could have ever done was go back to his old club, Manchester City, that are bossing the trophies of the Premier Leagues and the FA Cups and the Champions League and go and get two rotten, worn-out players that no longer have any credibility whatsoever. Because if you're the manager and you've then got to discipline Zinchenko for a bad performance or Jesus for a bad performance, they're going to down tools. And no doubt, Zinchenko lost his place to the Polish boy, the Polish lad, and is down tools. And who's to say that Zinchenko deliberately sabotaged our title prospects yesterday because he's been binned by Arteta for a period of time during the season and thought, I'm just going to run amok all over the pitch. Now, that's a bit conspiratorial, I accept, but I'm sorry, I don't trust this manager. I don't trust the players. I don't trust the club. And then just shortly before I stop, I'm going to bring in Mr. Havertz that I predicted a few shows back, either on this one or another one. Mr. Havertz is going to let us down. And sure enough, in that first half, he had enough chances to either get a brace or a hat-trick, and he let us down. Not only was what I usually call him as a concrete fence post, he turned into a busted, broken, blown over fence post because he was grabbing his knee and pretending that he was injured and all this. And the rot is settling in because Saka's doing it as well. And I'm sick to death of it. I've got up this morning and was wondering whether I should give my membership in because I'm sick of the fluffy crap shit support that we've got who turn up and can't even sit in the seats. I was at AC Milan, Inter Milan at home in the Champions League back in like 03 or 04. We were 3 down at home and I was there till the end of the 90th minute. No queuing up for a 50-foot hot dog or anything like that, watching the TV screens while I'm waiting rather than take me seat. I'm in the game 90 minutes and I'm booing the team off if they let us down, booing them off. But that lot all disappeared for the train back to Hertfordshire.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing that I noticed, and I was screaming at the fucking telly as well. You know what I mean? I fucking get you on that. Manny, I just wanted to say to you, did you see this coming? Like, did you think, no, we're not going to maybe lose, we're not going to win, but we're certainly not going to lose 2-0? For you, has this been coming, or like, did we get what we deserved?
I said it in the chat on one of your earlier streams, Del Boy. It's always the ex-players and the jilted former employees who will come back to hurt us, because Arteta mucked them over, and now they're getting their revenge. Last season, it was Danny Welbeck in the League Cup and Theo Walcott in the league. This season, Bernd Leno, Willian Borges, and Alex Iwobi. We took 1 point from 6 off Fulham. Joe Willock at St. James's Park with the cross that led to the disputed Anthony Gordon goal. He also did score at the Emirates, but because we creamed his side, I suppose we could let him off, but still, he has to get a mention. Then it was Konstantinos Mavropanos for West Ham against us when West Ham beat us at the Emirates around about Christmas time. And that was when I went on George Michael singing my version of Last Christmas. My singing is probably worse than Kyle's, I would say. And then, of course, it was Serge Gnabry who came back with Bayern Munich to equalise against us, reminding us of what a gem he could have been with us. And yesterday, it was Emiliano Martinez and Unai Emery. To answer your question, it's sort of a case of yes and no. Yes, you could say that because Emery and Martinez were very motivated to come back and really show us what we were missing, and also punish our collective fan base for the dogs abuse that they've been receiving from them, you could say that maybe it was coming. And I wasn't one of those people who wanted it to be that way. I mean, as much as I'm a huge admirer of Emi Martinez, as you know, my loyalty to Arsenal always comes first. And when you consider that they had Douglas Luiz suspended, I know several people have said, why should the fans even care, because they never rated Douglas Luiz until he was linked with us. But he was actually one of the main players in that team who was sort of the fulcrum of them, being able to dominate midfield. And certainly when we played them at Villa Park and lost, he was very much in the thick of it. So I was looking forward to what would hopefully be a very convincing win. There was no way in the world that I was expecting that we would, lose to Aston Villa of all teams, who have been in very patchy form of late and have also been struggling with injuries of their own, makeshift defense and all that jazz. But I have 3 words to describe it. Unai Emery masterclass. What he did was he adopted the 4-2-3-1 formation with John McGinn and Yuri Tielemans as the defensive midfielders. And he knew that he had to start Morgan Rogers and Nicola Zaniolo along with Moussa Diaby behind Ollie Watkins. So he adopted the 4-2-3-1 and had those people up as the attacking midfielders with Watkins on his own up front. And the brilliance of that, Del Boy, was that was able to do a lot more to really stifle our midfield for the most part. And their defending, I've been critical of Diego Carlos, but he had a fine game along with Pau Torres. And let me also say, and I'm pretty sure that Darren will agree with me on this, Ezri Konsa has proven himself to be everything as a defender that Benjamin White will never be. And far from England missing Ben White will miss England. Gareth Southgate and his coaching staff will be better off without him. Simple as that. And it was really frustrating, of course, because we were doing quite well. I do understand, in theory, why Arteta wanted to start Zinchenko, because obviously, he felt that with Villa's midfield, in theory, being a bit weakened, he thought that Zinchenko could come in and take advantage of that. And I will give him a little bit of credit. He was creating some very good chances, putting some passes in. But as we all know, defensively, he's just an absolute liability. And if you take a look at a trend, Del Boy, even if he might have a very good first half, in the second half, he completely falls apart. And the smart thing that Arteta should have done would have been to take off Zinchenko and replace him with Tomiyasu, even if it meant putting in another inverted left back. At least he would have had a better chance of dealing with either Moussa Diaby or Leon Bailey. In fact, it was Bailey who came on for Diaby, and we all know what Bailey did. So it angers me so much how people can make Arteta out to be this tactical, genius, when in reality all he's doing is trying to take everything he's learnt from Pep and try and recreate it. But as we can all agree, he doesn't have the players who are able to do that. But worst of all, he doesn't have a plan B, and his own sense of intellectual arrogance will mean that he will never move away from the inverted style, which, as Darren said in an earlier stream we did, is nothing but a case of showboating more than anything else. And so in the second half, they got motivated. Maybe Emery knew that defensively we'd start to be a little bit weaker. Maybe we'd tire a bit in the midfield. And that was when they really turned on the style. And, they also hit the post on the counter, and several people have complimented Villa on the quality of their counter-attacking. And, we were warned, especially after Tielemans hit the post, and maybe there were some of us who were thinking this could be our day. But then when that cross came in and Bailey forced it in with his wrong foot, there was my heart literally sank. And then Watkins chipping Raya with only Emile Smith-Rowe, it has to be said, portly, panting Emile Smith-Rowe, being the last man trying to defend and failing. Again, it was as if we, were adopting something of a high line. We were going for an equalizer, but then we lost possession, and that was just it. And I think it's also fair to say that when you take a look at the Aston Villa goalkeeper and the saves he was making, I take a look at the charlatans we've got, and I think to myself, why did we sell this guy? I have several people telling me that the decision to get rid of Emi was a smart decision because the money that we raised was reinvested well in other areas. Nonsense. That went almost completely to the securing of Thomas Partey's services. It was, not even half that much. And that's also, worst of all, it's a drop in the bucket compared to how much money we paid, wasted really on players since. Never mind the £50 million we wasted on Ben White, who was abysmal as a central defender, somehow shoved into right back, done well over there. And then, of course, we even spent $30 million on Ramsdale. We might have to fork out another 25 or 27 million to get Raya in. Penny wisdom, pound foolishness. All of these decisions ever since Arteta started his first full season with us, it's sort of and the way we went that first season, it really turned me off him. It really did. And the worst part is that, people are still going to say, we had a bad day at the office and everyone's entitled to that. We've got to stick behind the boys and stick behind the manager. No, I'm sorry. We can't do that. And yet, sadly, all of us know here that he is going to stay on for at least another season. But, there has to come a time when somebody has to have the courage to say that the emperor has no clothes, and Arteta simply isn't all that. We need results like this to make us realize that we're nowhere near as good as we are, and the manager certainly isn't as good as he is. But everyone seems to be, poisoned by the Kool-Aid. It will take a long time to deprogram them. But on a positive note, let me end by saying, Unai, Emiliano, congratulations to the both of you. You two have shown why Arsenal were wrong to have done you dirty the way they did. You've proven your class by the way you've conducted yourselves. And to hear Emiliano Martinez say, I joined Arsenal as a boy, I left as a man, I learned English, I spent 11 years, and I'll always love the club. Class act. And the true Arsenal fans will remember the both of you for what you did for us, and you will always be top people in our hearts. Definitely mine.
Well said, mate. I can't disagree with anything you said there, to be honest with you. If you're new around here, please do subscribe and hit the old like button. I'd really appreciate that. I just wanted to touch base on the left back position because Zinchenko, I said it at the start of the stream, for me, he fucked that game up big time. We have a better player, and he's on loan. Real Sociedad, Kieran Tierney. We done an interview during the week. Arteta hasn't even contacted the man. Hasn't even talked to him once since he's away, which I think is an absolute disgrace because Kieran Tierney, for me, if he was playing yesterday, I don't think we can see them 2 goals at least, But hey-ho, I'm a fucking idiot from Dublin. What do I know? Warren, you especially, you're a big fan of Kieran Tierney. Could he have, let's say, prevented them 2 goals, or am I just talking shite?
It's a good question. I don't think so, because one man can't fix the problems that are in that team. But he would have been a damn sight better than what was playing on the left-hand side. Well, supposed to have been playing on the left-hand side yesterday. To answer your question, but I also just want to quickly say that 35 years ago today, 97 football fans lost their lives at Hillsborough. And I just think, we shouldn't let that go past without mentioning it. And, it should never, ever be forgotten what happened that day. And I still get really upset when I think about it. Little kids going off to go and watch a game of football with their uncles and mums and dads and never coming home again. It's just not right. But anyway, with regards to this football club, I mean, yesterday for me, it was a bit like watching the Christmas Carol, right? Because we had the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future, right? The ghost of Christmas past was Emi Martinez playing in goal and Unai Emery. The ghost of Christmas present, right? And then we're representing Villa. And the ghost of Christmas present, we had Zinchenko. God knows what position he was supposed to be playing. He seemed to be in every single position other than one what he's supposed to have been. And the ghost of Christmas future, Ollie Watkins playing up front for Villa, which I'm not convinced that we're going to even make an effort to get in. And, it's just, I do find it extremely frustrating when I hear all these people going on and like backing this nonsense for the last 4 or 5 years. There is no way on earth that this manager is ever, or any of these people at this football club in positions of power, none of them have got a clue what they're doing. There's no accountability for failure. He's going to be more than likely rewarded with a new bumper contract. And it's just going on and on and on. And there's no sign of it ever getting any better. It's now a record amount of time between title wins. All right. And I'm sorry, it's just not acceptable. A club of this size shouldn't be waiting 20 odd years for a Premier League title. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And, these fans, like, continually backing it, whether, saying, you just got to get behind the team, get behind the manager, and it'll be all right. Well, no, it won't be all right. Darren was 100% right what he said earlier about how back in the day when he went to that Inter Milan game, if the players and the team let us down, we would let them know. We would, and they would not be able to get away with it. But nowadays, they just like say, oh, well, never mind, on to the next one. And it's just this. We're not going to get change at this football club unless we kick off. We need to remember 2 things. Well, 2 things. First thing, when Stanley Kroenke bought this club, he turned around and he said, I did not buy this club to win trophies. That in itself should be a massive red flag to any true Arsenal fan. And the reason I say true Arsenal fan, because for me, there are a lot of people who say they're Arsenal fans, but from what I've seen of them the last year or so, they're not. Secondly, this has happened now 3 years on the bounce. It happened in 2021-22. It happened 2022, 23, and it's happened again this year. Anyone who doubts what I'm saying, look at the end of the season's fixtures from about game 30 onwards for the last 3 seasons, including this one, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth, because I'm not convinced that this club is interested in winning trophies because of what Stan Kroenke said and the evidence in front of me, right? Every single year for the last 3 years that this club has achieved Europe qualification for European football, for the following season, it down tools. Right? People go on about the attitude of the players and they're not, they can't handle pressure. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. I think it is. There's an instruction come from Stanley Kroenke, said, right, that's it. Targets have been achieved. Don't worry, you need to worry anymore. And that's it. That's all it is. They're not interested in winning. They don't care about that. All they care about is the balance sheet and selling the merch and trying to hoodwink and brainwash as many of our supporters as they possibly can. And I think it's an absolute disgrace. The whole lot of them need to go. The owners, the board, the senior management team, the fans, half of the players. There's only one player in that midfield that is any good, right? Who plays on a regular basis, and that is Declan Rice. And he was poor yesterday, let me tell you. The rest of them are absolute rubbish. Look at the way that Aston Villa's midfield dominated us yesterday. It was shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I've gone on way, way too long, so I'm going to shut up and let someone else have a go.
No, you're fine. You're fine, because like what you're saying is absolutely spot on, mate. And you're like, I'm just looking at the chat here, and there's a lot of people saying agreeing with you. I'm just looking for a question here. I seen from Craig. It was I can't find it, but basically, Static. I want to come to you with it. It was basically saying it was Ollie Watkins' goal. Why was the last man was Smith Rowe? You know what I mean? How, like, where was everyone? Like, I know, like, probably pushing for the goal and stuff like that, but he was the one back, and it was actually a good point of view. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, here it is. Here, question to the panel: why was ESR the last man back when Watkins scored? Where the feck was Gabriel and Saliba? Well, I suppose they were just probably trying to attack. Where did it go wrong for you, Static, yesterday? Like,
everything. Let's just like the tactics, the game plan, the formation, just everything. Just that first half, we were just so flat, just toothless. There was just no life in the team. Just it was just such a flat performance. Just no ideas whatsoever, no creativity. I mean, there was some moments we did create chances, but too many times we were offside. I know that Trossard, yeah, he had a big chance, but he wasn't the only one. Havertz had quite a few chances, had a few chances as well, but he was very wasteful, and he kept being offside as well. So, but just everyone it was just so lethargic, that first half performance. And I think Aston Villa was starting to, even Unai Emery and Villa, they started to pick that up, and they exploited Arsenal's just lethargic display of performance in the second half. I mean, that second half, they were absolutely unbelievable, Aston Villa. I don't know how they didn't win that game 4-0. They should have won 4-0, let's be honest. The amount of chances they had. Can I just say, Tielemans, he was a free transfer. Why didn't we sign him? I wanted him at Arsenal. Well, just I can't believe we didn't get this guy, because that assist he made to Ollie Watkins was just, what a beautiful pass that was. Just that's something Jorginho would normally do. But but just that second half, we were all over the place defensively. I mean, of course, Zinchenko. Just get this fraudulent son of a, you know what, out of the football club but of course, Arteta keeps playing him because he's his favourite. He's his favourite player. So, and I reckon QPR must have had a bust up with Arteta. Just to go from playing every week and then all of a sudden he's not starting the last couple of games, it's just something's not right there. But just it's his favourites. Yeah, I have to echo with what Oren says. It's like yeah, they've achieved pretty much top 4 more or less. Oh, we're just throwing the towel now. We'll just go back to what we did before. But like I said, it's just typical Arteta. When something is not broken, he has to make changes. Just to try to be cool? No, come on, man. But like I said, I do want to say, look, Aston Villa, they were fantastic. They thoroughly deserved the win. They pretty much played a similar game plan to Bayern Munich, in my opinion. But yeah, they executed it perfectly. They deserve to win. So well done to the players. Well done, Emery. And can I just say, I don't know if anyone's mentioned this, but I was absolutely disgusted with the fan base. For the entire 90 minutes, they booed Martinez. Yeah, have you forgot that he won us the FA Cup 4 years ago? He played a humongous part in our success for that. And just, I was watching the game live, but just to see that him constantly boo the whole time, it's just, and as what Manny said, he never said a bad word about Arsenal. And especially during his final interview, he was showed a lot of class and respect. Never disrespected the fans as well. It's just, and to see that, and I just want to touch on this finally as well. And speaking of the fans, they're all disgraced for leaving, 5-10 minutes, even as soon as it was 1-0, and then definitely when it became 2-0, everyone was leaving. It's just, these are all these fans, same fans that are telling you, myself, and all of you guys in the panel and everyone in the live chat that shove this down our throats, that, just back Arteta, just back the process. Well, you're the same people that are saying this and that online. You're saying it offline as well, but then you're leaving before 90 minutes. Like, where are you going? But you want us to back Arteta and trust the process. Where are you going?
I'll tell you where they were fucking going. Because I wanted to just say this because I was so fucking angry with what I seen yesterday, and you just hit the nail on the head of reminding me. Because Martinez didn't ask to fucking leave. He was forced out of the club, in my opinion. They just fucked him off. See you later. That's not his fault, okay? And as Manny said, he did not badmouth this club once. I respect that man. I respect him as a man. That's what I fucking do, okay? So these stupid bastards that were fucking disrespecting that man in that goal, okay? He didn't do anything for the club. Actually, he was third choice keeper. He kept his mouth fucking shut and he tried his damnedest to get into that Arsenal team. Okay? And for them stupid fucking arseholes who are booing him, shame on you. And you're the same stupid fucking arseholes, I bet you, that left the fucking stadium early to go out and meet fucking Don fucking Robbie and AFT shower of cunts. That's what them fuckers were doing. Leaving, let's get fucking Robbie. Let's get close to the top of the queue and have our fucking say in the game. Well, you know what? Fuck off out of my fucking club. Don't want you supporting them, you big fucking arseholes. Like, I'm sick to fucking them because they'll fucking give out to fucking me and everyone here in here now and saying, yeah, yous are negative and stuff like that. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll fucking stand in the stadium and I'll fucking give it to the players if they're not pulling their fucking weight. Ben White fucking pulled out of a 50-50 tackle, which leaded to the fucking goal, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Ben White or Zinchenko? One of them did. Shame on fucking you. Boo him. What about fucking Martinelli? Someone just said it there. He was there coming up to Martinez at the end of the match, hugging and kissing him in the middle of the field. Are you for fucking real? You fucked away the fucking league and you're hugging and kissing him. Like, seriously. This fucking fan base are fucking retards to me. You know what I mean? Why are they doing this? I don't fucking get it. And the atmosphere, straight away from the get-go, the atmosphere was fucking, oh, we're nervous or whatever. Get behind the team. Give it loads. Start singing. Come on, push them on. You're the 12th man. Well, do you know what? We were like minus a man there yesterday. Sorry, Manny, go ahead.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry to have to sort of cut in, but I think I actually do have a bit of a theory. You know how we say the fish rots from the head down? Well, let's consider that when Mikel Arteta decided to bin Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who has literally, found a new lease of life back in France with Marseille. Now, of course, he's the Europa League's all-time goal scorer, and he, of course, scored an important consolation goal to keep Marseille in the tie against Northside's Benfica. And they will be playing on Thursday, and Marseille have a very good chance of winning that leg because it'll be at their home ground, the Stade Velodrome in Marseille. And when Arteta decided to bin him, it was deemed that not only was he no longer able to contribute to the cause, but his attitude was supposedly the problem. And yet all of us on the panel, Del, know that there were some other psychological issues that Aubameyang was going through. And most of the transgressions that he made, yes, some timekeeping was a bit of a problem. But if there was an issue with his, attitude, as it were, then by all means take the captaincy away from him. But to just bin him, to ostracize him, and not even get a replacement, and then send him off to Barcelona, where he worked with Xavi Hernandez, and Xavi, 100 times the player and manager that Arteta will ever be, saying, I absolutely adored working with Aubameyang. He was a real gem. And now, of course, he's enjoying himself at Marseille. So a lot of people will take a look at this and say, well, Arteta absolutely did the right thing because it's a part of his helping to change the culture of the club and also improve some of the attitudes. But I'll tell you one thing, and I'm sure maybe Darren and Warren might agree with me on this, and I would love to get their opinions on this. If anything, Arteta has actually changed the culture for the worst, and some of the attitudes of some of these players are now even worse than anything that Aubameyang would be accused of. And Static, of course, remembers in our last stream where I mocked some guy who had the nerve to say that under Odegaard, the captaincy means something again, whereas in reality, unless he wins silverware, he will be a failure at the club. At least Aubameyang, as captain, was able to step up against Manchester City and Chelsea in the semi-finals and finals of that FA Cup and win us a trophy. And I got a lot of grief for that. And I also got a lot of grief from a WhatsApp group in which I'm on with a lot of people calling my opinion stupid. But let's take a look at Martin Odegaard, and I'm going to really, really start cooking. When we went to the Berlin ground and beat West Ham 6-0, let's get one thing straight. We did not properly avenge our defeats because they beat us in the League Cup. They beat us at home. But there were some West Ham fans who also were understandably very angry, given that by half-time they were 4 or 5-0 down. There was some sort of a meme, I don't know if it was true, but Odegaard was seen with his camera taking photographs of the West Ham fans leaving. I'm sorry, but for you to do something like that and take the mickey, who in heaven's name do you think you are, son? And I call you son because I am actually old enough to be your dad. And there's a reason why Darren refers to Ben White as Tenerife Ben. A lot of other people call him Benny Blanco for a reason. For him to go ahead and sort of say, because Steve Holland abused me for some reason, I don't want to have to, thrash it out with him, and I'm not going to play for England as long as Gareth Southgate and he involved in the coaching stuff. I'm sorry, but that is the equivalent of spitting out your dummy. And it was stupid, really, to hear a lot of Arsenal fans say, get on Ben White, show Southgate who's boss. To hell with England. England it's England's loss and it's our gain. Well, not only did we see Ben White have a bit of a stinker yesterday and Ezri Konsa outshine him, but Konsa also came on for Kyle Walker and put in the shift against Vinicius Jr. But you take a look at some of the attitudes of some of these players, how entitled they become, and you think to yourself, was Aubameyang any worse than any of this? And the answer has to be no. And agreed with them, Ali D. But you take a look at all of this arrogance and entitlement. I have a feeling that it really stems from the players going down. And also, let's also cast our eyes back to the return fixture of some sorts at Villa Park when Havertz and Emi Martinez got into a little bit of a staring contest where they were squaring each other up, and a lot of Arsenal fans were giving it to Emi, saying he was behaving like an absolute, and forgive me for swearing, Del, behaving like an absolute pussy. And a lot of the talk on Twitter was how it was time for Havertz to settle the score and give Martinez everything back and make him cry. Well, we all know what happened. We were all made to cry. So when you have a bunch of players who are going to openly be disrespectful and arrogant towards opponents and also take the mickey in these particular ways, for Arteta people to say that Arteta has changed the culture and improved the discipline of the club, I'm sorry, but that's a stupid red herring, an utter fallacy. It's not just a misconception, it's a fallacy, it's a false narrative. Because if anything, with his own arrogance, he's made things a lot worse. And there is a worse culture of toxicity around the club. And, Arteta and the players are going to have to be blamed for that. That's why I say the fish rots from the head down. And to all those people who were saying, and I will end in this. There are some people who are saying that even if it does come to pass that Arteta will have to leave the club and a new manager comes in, if that new manager were to win silverware with us, Arteta should take some credit for making sure that we become more stabilized and, he's cleaned everything up and started from scratch and we're a better team now because of it. Rubbish. If Unai Emery doesn't get any credit for the FA Cup win, if Bruce Rioch doesn't get any credit for Arsene Wenger's first double and success under him, then Arteta deserves no credit whatsoever for any subsequent success we may have under any subsequent manager. If anything, that subsequent manager will clean up an even bigger mess that Arteta's left behind than anything that Unai Emery will be accused of. And Darren, I'd like to go to you. Would you agree with me on everything I've said?
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, I think it's the culture of the club is very, very poor. I mean, when you take Ben White, for example, I mean, it's every player, don't matter what nationality you are, if you've got self-respect for yourself and your origins and your family's origins, your dream is to play for your country, unless you've lived in about 10 countries in the space of 22 years or something stupid like that, which nobody has. People settle. And yet Ben White's gone away with England and he's got massive competition. Kyle Walker is going to be so hard to get rid of as a right back. Instead of biding your time and thinking, well, Walker's at the end of his career and I'm at the start of mine, let's just relax, take your chance when you get the chance. But it's like, give me it now. I want to be in the team now. Give me it now. Give me it now. No, young man. Wait your place. Take your time. I'll tell you what then. Fuck off. Not interested. I'm going home. That's disgusting. I don't want Ben. I don't like Ben White. I no longer like Ben White as a player. I no longer respect Ben White. I don't want Ben White anywhere near Arsenal Football Club because Arsenal Football Club probably would have kicked him out if it was in the 80s or 90s and got rid of him just on his behaviour. Arsenal Football Club used to watch closely about players' behaviours and what they were doing, if they were on international duty. And I'm sure if Ben White would have been playing under George Graham might have got him in the office and said, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Storming out of an international. Alex Ferguson, a bit different because he was Scottish and Paul Scholes with England, particularly didn't like England because he's a jock. Fair enough.
But George Graham was Scottish too, wasn't he?
Who was? Georgie, yeah,
Graham.
Yeah, of course he was, yeah. But I still think, even though he was a jock, I still think he would have fucking slaughtered Ben White for that because he had the class, and there was class there then. Our club, it's gone. It's all evaporated. It's gone. And, Martinelli laughing with Martinez at the end of the game. I mean, I didn't see that, but I've heard it's happened. If that's the case, if I'm the manager, he's never playing for my team again. Ben White, he's getting sold in the summer after his antics with England. Martinelli, binned, because he's not producing the goods. He's this... He gets inflated, almost Cristiano Ronaldo-esque, because he's quick and he's this and that. When's he scored 2 or 3 goals? When has Zinchenko's inverted? When did that last work out for Arsenal? Zinchenko inverting in midfield. When did you last see Zinchenko inverting to midfield, player telling pass and us score a goal? we only just saw the Chelsea pensioners link up against Brighton 2 days ago. They've been here for like 18 months and like 9 months. You know, what's going on? You know, why is it taking all this time? Why has Arteta been there for 4 years? And why are all these fans saying how great he is? He's been here for 4 years. Wenger's done it in like a couple of seasons. George Graham turned it around in a couple of seasons. You know, it's shocking. The whole culture of the team, the squad, and a lot of it is our fans are to blame for a lot of it because they're allowing it to happen by making excuse after excuse. Now Saka, the rot has got into Saka's head because now if he gets kicked, he's going down at the first opportunity and moaning. And now he's trying to get penalties from the Bayern Munich goalkeeper, Neuer. You know, perhaps if he'd have just read it out and tried to dance around him or something else might have happened. I'm actually very 50-50 on that penalty. I think could have gone either way. I think Neuer was brilliant, by the way, sticking his leg out like that and tactically showing all his experience. But I don't blame fans for saying that Saka was trying to cheat because he's banged his leg in and sort of dived over. And you know, Saka weren't like this. It's infecting the whole lot of them. You can see Declan Rice now. His last 2 performances dropped off, or he is under pressure. But I do actually think the pressure does get to these players. They can't cope with it because what it is they're not disciplined properly. They're not, they're not taught to have enough respect. You know, when they're because don't tell me that Ben White's got respect for people that have been in the game for far longer than what he has. And don't forget, Ben White is mouthing off all over social media. I put something on my Instagram. He was in the Sun newspaper giving it all this about we're going to celebrate. You're not going to stop us. We're going to be successful. We're going to celebrate in every game and all this. Look how that's turned out for him against Aston Villa now. It's not turned out very well, is it? You save your energy for delivering the goods, not for running your mouth before you've actually achieved anything. And that's exactly what all the players, the manager and the club are doing right now.
Yeah. Facts, Darren. Seriously, mate. It's just a real good interest in listening to you and stuff like that because you're actually speaking 100% facts. Static, I just want to go to you. I know you have to shoot off, so do you want to give a big shout out?
Yeah, you can actually find me on Instagram, everyone. So, which is static__5. You can also find me anywhere within the Arsenal YouTube fan community, especially on Del Boy's channel. Lovely Del Boy. If you do see me live chat, do come and say hello. Del Boy panel, thank you so much for having me on. I really do appreciate it. Big love and respect to everyone in live chat. Please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And finally, win, lose or draw, as I say this every time, Arteta out, get him out. I've had enough. I never won in the first place. 4.5 years later, nothing's changed. Get this motherfucker, excuse my French, get him out of my football club tonight, even now. Why is he still here? Get him out.
Big up, Static. I'll chat to you soon, mate.
Definitely. Take care, everyone.
Take care. All the best.
Cheers,
Kyle,
Static.
you've been sitting here patiently, and I'm sure you have a few things to say. Where's your sort of opinion on, let's say, the fans, the hugging and kissing after the game? You know, where's your stance on that? And please do subscribe if you're new and hit the like button. Kyle, over to you, mate.
Del Boy, I'm absolutely fuming. I hear a lot of fans talking about Sanchez. Sanchez this, Sanchez that. To mention Sanchez in the same brace as the legends of the past. Sanchez, to me, is no fucking legend of this club. I remember we were playing Liverpool Football Club, and he was substitute us. And he sat on the bench, and we got a fucking lesson. 4-0 to Liverpool, and the camera focused in on Sanchez, and he was laughing. That finished me with that prick. I never mention him in the same breath as the likes of Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, or any other great legends. Sunday gone yesterday. The end of that game, I was devastated. I was fucking devastated. And what do I see? I see another overhyped Brazilian, Martinelli, and he overhooking Martinez, cracking fucking jokes, smiling. And we only after being beaten 2-0 and blowing the league championship. Well done, Martinelli, you fucking prick. For me, that boy, he will be sitting on the bench. He won't even be in my squad for the rest of the season. Out the fucking door. And I'll be looking to sell him in the summer. This fella's fucking overhyped, that boy. He's like a headless chicken. He's quick. But he puts the head down and he just runs into problems. I'm fucking sick of him. And then you have the great captain, Martin Odegaard. Goes missing once again when it matters. What did I see that prick doing yesterday? I'll tell you what I saw him doing. Getting a little tip on the chest and he's falling down on the ground holding his face. In fucking embarrassing. Would Tony Adams do that? Would David O'Leary do that? It's a sham. Would Vieira do that? He should have been running these fucking head. He should have been, every single player yesterday should be running themselves into the ground to win a Premier League title. But no. Why then? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they're getting 200 and 300,000 pounds a week. They don't give two fucks to win a league title or not. Because they have their big fucking contracts and their big fucking mansions and their beautiful looking women. They don't give a fuck about England. They don't give a fuck about Ireland. And they surely don't give a fuck about Arsenal. Fucking jumped up prima donnas, the whole fucking lot of them. And if I had 5 minutes in the fucking dressing room with them, I'd break their fucking faces. That's how I do with them. If Martin Odegaard was anyway fucking good and he was the captain, he should have walked over to Martinelli yesterday and made an example of him in front of the fucking fans. By grabbing him by his fucking neck and dragging him down the tunnel. Prick. Yeah. Fucking, that's acceptable. That's acceptable in today's football. This fucking carry on. Because all that matters to them is their Instagram page. It's where they're going on holidays with their fucking women. It's not about the crest. It's not about winning. As fans, real fans like us here on this screen and in the panel, we're the ones that's hurting. Because we grew up when Arsenal was Arsenal. Not this fucking shit. Because this ain't the Arsenal that I fucking grew up loving. It's a shambles. And I would then what? I swear, man, on my child's life, I would give my fucking heart to have one training session with that fucking team tomorrow morning. Because I promise you, by the time I fucking finished with them, they will win a fucking Champions League. It's the whole thing is shocking. And as for the fans, don't even get me started. The show of fucking pricks, the fucking lot of them. And that AFTV and Robert Lloyd and all those pricks that's on that are fucking wankers, every one of them. They're having a fucking clue about this club, running it to the ground. They're the biggest problem about this club. That fucking group, AFTV. And I showed them out. I had a fucking conversation with Robbie, and I told him about what I thought about Mr. Ozil. And he argued with me. That video was never posted. I wonder why. Pricks. Then you have the fans supposed to be real fans inside the fucking club. They wouldn't know what Arsenal is. Not like Darren. Not like Warren. They're true Arsenal, mate. Not like Kenny Kane. These fellas are fucking, this bunch here don't care. They're eating hot dogs and drinking pints in the bar. The whole thing's a disgrace. If we had real fans in the club, in the stands like Darren and Warren and Kenny Kane and myself and you, that boy, and Manny and all the rest of them. We'd be booing them boys off the fucking thing. We wouldn't be accepting their bullshit. But they're allowed to get away with it. And then the fans are coming out then on the FTV and they're saying, we still have a chance to win the league title. We have no fucking chance to win the league title. It's over. The fan base, the players, the management, the ownership are a fucking disgrace to football. Martin Odegaard was taking photographs of the photographer, celebrating because we beat West Ham or some fucking thing like that. There a couple of weeks ago, Arteta was giving the Klopp the fist pumps to the crowd. Going around celebrating, hugging and kissing each other. I sat here. I came off all social media because I was getting a fucking nightmare about it. Because I was so negative and toxic. And I said, I'm coming off Facebook. I'm coming off Instagram. I'm coming off all of it because I'm going to give the lads a chance to prove me wrong. Guess what? Who was fucking right after all? Me, once again. So now I'm coming back on fucking on social media because I want apologies from these pricks. It's a fucking disgrace, then what? From the top down, they might fool them, but they're not going to fool me because I know this club. I'm 38 years supporting this club. I know what they are. I know the identity that this club was before, and now I know the identity of this club since we left since we left Highbury Stadium. This club is fucking dead. Disgraceful. I'm fucking sick of the whole lot of them.
Like, even to just touch on what you were saying about some of the fans, not all of the fans, because there's fucking true gunners out there and stuff like that. Like, you know, and I think it was this time last year or something like that when I was over there and I was going fucking mad. I was going mad, like, you know what I mean? And I was saying it to Robbie and I pulled Robbie and I started fucking letting him have it. And people around me, oh, relax, mate, relax. Like, you know what I mean? Why the fuck will I relax? I'm waiting how many fucking years? 20 years for a league title. I'm waiting 20 fucking years. How long more do we need to relax? As we all know, 750 million was spent in this club by Arteta. And we've Zinchenko at left back. We've Ben White pulling out of a fucking challenge that leaded to a goal. I know for a fact anyone here in the panel and anyone in the chat, when you were playing football, you never pulled out of a fucking battle. You never pulled out of a 50-50 chance. Especially when you're on about 200 and fucking whatever grand a week. You fucking bleed for the club. I'm sorry about that. We play for free. I pay to fucking play. I pay to play in the fucking Emirates. But yeah, you have people pulling out of fucking challenges. You have fan bases saying, relax, mate. You have fucking fans booing an ex-Arsenal player who was fucking crying when we won the FA Cup. Booing him. You had fucking ex-players. Oh, he's got drip. And someone said it there in the comment. I forget, Ali or someone like that said it there about McGinn. I'd take him all day long. He fucking caused riots in that fucking midfield. That's what he done yesterday. He got under the skin of Arteta or fucking Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Odegaard. Odegaard is afraid of his life. He went off. He got a kick in the chest, as you said, holding his fucking face. I'm out of here. McGinn's fucking wrecking me head. But no, McGinn's not good looking enough. He's not Odegaard. He doesn't have the class of Odegaard. You know what I mean? Warren, like, is there any way back?
Darren, sorry, Dale. Darren says he has to leave. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry, Darren. Just give us a shout out there, your socials, please do, mate.
Yeah, Darren Sullivan 49 on Insta. It's funny you should mention all that. I did like a little article on Ben White saying, you know, he was going to get angry during a game, and that he could get. I don't see that anywhere. But anyway, yeah, thanks for having us on again. Pleasure to be on here again, and gutted for myself and everyone else who comes on here and all the proper Arsenal fans. And I went to the Luton game at home, and believe it or not, I looked round and it's about 50-50 split. There's a lot of deluded fools that are going home early and that, but there's a lot of, I'll tell you now, trust me, there's a lot of people in that stadium that are just standing there watching. And you can tell they don't like what they're seeing. They don't. I'm one of them, and I know there's a lot more other people that go to the games that. So let's just pray. I can see us now. If we get knocked out on Wednesday, we'll go on a real downer. We're going to take a lot of slaps between now and the end of the season, and then hopefully, so Matt Southern made a very good point. He said Villa are only a few points behind us.
Yeah.
Don't rule out yet we could get knocked down out of Champions League places. And do you know what? That wouldn't be such a bad thing. And on that note, salute you all. See you next
Big
time.
up, Darren. Cheers, mate.
Big
Thanks
up, Darren.
Cheers.
Warren, I'll just go to you there. I was just trying to get in there, but obviously Darren had to go. Can you even say, is there any hope we can win a Champions League, a league? Is there any hope? Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, there is, but I don't think it involves us winning trophies. Because for me, if we win the Champions League or we win the Premier League title, it's just going to delay the agony for me. Because and I know that sounds crazy, I do, and I understand why people would say that, right? But this club is not the club. I agree 100% with what Carl said. And I'm telling you now, this club is not going to win the Champions League and it's not going to win the Premier League, right? But in the long term, it could do. But only if it has a major overhaul in the way that it's run. Because this club is not the same club that I grew up supporting. I grew up supporting the club that was in that article that you sent me. From that was it the Irish Independent?
Yeah.
When they were talking about Niall Quinn was going on about how he'd take his plate back to the counter at the Greasy Spoon and all that carry on. Mate, that article made me cry because it just brought back all the memories of the club that I love. And that club for me at the moment is dead and buried, but there is still hope. Or what needs to happen is we need to get a new owner because this guy is not interested in what's good for Arsenal Football Club. We need to get a new owner. We need to get David O'Leary. We need to get Chippy. We need to get Tony Adams, Paul Merson working behind the scenes at that football club and David Dean. But I'm telling you now, if we have David Dean working at that club, things will change.
Yeah.
He will not tolerate all this nonsense with Arteta. He said it on TalkSport. He would have pulled him into a side room and had a word with him and told him to rein it in. And the problem, all these people that I've just mentioned, all of them have an understanding of what Arsenal Football Club is. They have an understanding of its culture, the way it does things. None of these people that are working there now have got a Scooby-Doo about what this club is all about. And like I said last night when I was with Diesel, there are a lot of great football clubs out there, right? But none of them are on the same level as Arsenal. There is something magical about this football club, right? Years and years ago, when I first started working, I worked in NatWest Bank in the City of London, right? And I worked with this guy. He was a couple of years off retirement. And he spoke to me one day and he said, do you like football? And I said, yeah. He said, who do you support? And I said, Arsenal. And he said, when I was a young boy, he said, I was in the Arsenal reserve team. And he said he was with Alex James and all the boys that were in the Arsenal team in the 30s. And he said, there is something special about that club. He said, I went to play different clubs around the country. None of them were a patch on that football club. There is something magical about it. And I'm not bullshitting you. This is 100% true. All these things he said to me, right? And it is, and we can get it back. But we need to get proper Arsenal people in that club because it ain't going to happen otherwise. And we need to get rid of this manager because he's not the man. And these people need to stop backing this nonsense of this manager. 1 minute they're backing him, saying, oh, he's doing a great job. We're going to win the league. We're going to do that. The next minute when they lose, he's the worst manager the club's ever had. It needs to stop. We need to get on a consistent and what was it I said the other day? Like, it needs to be a civil disobedience from the supporters towards this club and get these people out, because not one of them has got a clue about what this club's all about. And because it is magical, but if we don't get these people out, they're going to destroy it. They are. It is dying. That the club, they've got rid of the badge, they got rid of the ground, and I still, to this day, do not agree that was necessary. We didn't need to move. They're not telling. They could have put in compulsory purchase orders on the properties around the ground. I don't care what anyone says. They could have done. They've got the money to do it. That club has got hundreds of millions, and they can waste like this manager has. He spent £750 million, like you said, Del Boy, on players since he's been here. I'd say 90% of that money's been wasted. We look at like John McGinn, how he was terrorising our midfield yesterday. I would have him in that team tomorrow if I could. Him, Kieran Tierney, Emi Martinez back. That's another one. We spent nearly £80 million trying to replace that guy, and we still haven't managed to do it. And it's just that, again, it's showing time and time and time again. This manager's judgment isn't up to scratch. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. He doesn't know how to make decisions that are proper decisions. We need to get all these people out because they're not competent to do the job. And so that would be my message about how we can turn this club around, because we ain't winning any trophies all the time. These idiots are in positions of power at the club. But if we get the likes of David O'Leary and Chippy in there, and Noel Quinn is another one, I'd have him in there because he knows what he's doing. He knows how to run a football club. And he's got a passion for the club. When I was reading that article, it was coming through to me. All those players, all those ex-players, all have a passion for the club. Sammy Nelson, all these old players, they know what this club is about, and it's important. I bet you, when at Liverpool, they haven't got loads of people working at Liverpool, don't understand what's important for that club, how they do things. I bet they haven't got people there who haven't got a clue about what happened at Hillsborough, for example. It's important. It really is. But I'm going to shut up because I've been going on way too long.
No, you're fine. It is frustrating.
Warren, please don't shut up, because I actually do have another question for you. I noticed that you refer to Ben White as an Oompa Loompa, and I think you can agree with me when I said that yesterday Ezri Konsa showed why he is at least a level above him right now. I was also talking about how some of the players' attitudes right now have been, of late, even worse than anything Aubameyang was accused of, especially Odegaard with that ridiculous camera stunt. Would you bin these players, and would you give take the captaincy away from Odegaard as well?
Yeah, 100% I would. I would bring, if I was the manager, I would be on, the first thing I would do would be getting on the phone to Kieran Tierney trying to persuade him to come back. Right? And I would ban tattoos as well. Was it in that article? No, dear boy. Was it in that article that you sent me? Was someone in there talking about tattoos, saying they wouldn't have got away with that in my day? I remember Charlie Nicholas getting in trouble with George Graham because he had an earring in.
Oh,
but this is what I'm talking about. People do not understand. the culture of this fucking football club. Honestly, it's like when I was working in the city, it was really hot. Summer's day, we weren't allowed to take our jackets off. And this is the sort of thing that would go on at Arsenal. Right? And I know people would say it's crazy, but it breeds discipline. When you're on that pitch, you've got to have that mental discipline. And these players, they haven't got it. And there's a reason. It's because it's too lapsadaisical. There's no, control or discipline to do things the right way or know what's what and what's right and what's not. And therefore, they just get lapsadaisical and they think, oh, well, never mind. I bet you there were players out on that pitch yesterday thinking, oh, well, it doesn't matter. We got another game at the weekend. Do you not know? You need to go out there and perform, and 100% every time you walk out on that pitch.
Warren, I just want to sort of jump in because I want to make a point there. You're sort of after what you're saying, and I agree with it, exactly what you're saying there about players and discipline and stuff like that. Like young players nowadays driving in Ferraris and Porsches and every sort of fucking bullshit like that. Whereas, if I had, if any of my kids were to go and be professional, I'd be saying, stand out with a box a small bit because everything's all this social media bullshit and who done a great tackle and who done a great shot and stuff like that. But there's no Patrick Vieira, there's no Tony Adams, there's no Roy Keane, Scholes, hard men. Do you know what I mean? Be a hard man, Odegaard. If that did hurt him or whatever, and I'm just picking him, I'm not picking on him, but I'm just his tackle that happened yesterday. It hit there in the chest. I'm sorry. That didn't look that sore. If it was sore, and I'm captain of the team, I'm grinning me fucking teeth, and I'm there, stay fucking big, mate. I'm talking to myself, stay fucking big, be strong, be hard. And then other players around you that go, he's a hardy fucker. You know what I mean? And it does work. Kyle, you'll agree with me in this. 2001, when the Dutch came to Ireland, we had to beat the Dutch to go through to the World Cup in 2002. Mark Overmars was on the top of his form. He got the ball, and Roy Keane nearly broke his two fucking legs with a challenge in Lansdowne Road. And he said, welcome to fucking Dublin. You're not having this shite here today. And the Dutch players fucking shit themselves. Am I right, Kyle?
They absolutely shit on themselves. That was in the first couple of minutes. So Overmars got them. I'll never forget it because I jumped off the seats. He put Mark Overmars in Rose Egg and he bent down and he said to him, welcome to fucking Dublin, my boy. Yeah, getting it easy today. And the Dutch never kicked the ball for the whole game. They were afraid to fucking lose them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you another thing. You're talking about tattoos and stuff like that. I never saw Patrick Vieira with tattoos. I never saw Robert Perez with tattoos. Thierry Henry, Bergkamp. Legends. These fucking assholes going out with tattoos, earrings, suntans, or sunbags. This is what's wrong with the game.
Not even Paul Merson or Kenny Sansom had tattoos, I'd imagine.
They surely didn't. And they were great players and champions. Not like these assholes of today. The whole thing was wrong there, boy. What I want is a fella to be there to put the boot in. And to say to Villa yesterday, you're not winning here today. But we don't have a player like that. People can talk to me and tell me that we do in Declan Rice. We don't. Declan Rice he's a good player, but he's overhyped as well, that boy. But he is a good player. I wouldn't get rid of him. But I'll tell you one thing. There's a queer lot of them players I won't get rid of. Starting with that fucking Jesus.
No.
That man is fucking useless. And bringing on Eddie Nketiah. Why would you want to bring on Eddie Nketiah? Would someone please explain that to me? It's just embarrassing. The whole thing is embarrassing. And I agree with Warren. I'm 100% agree with him. It kills me, that boy. I'd be so angry and sad and frustrated because Arsenal are a special club. You know, there's a special thing about Arsenal, and it's gone. The fucking I don't know what is this. There was something. I fell in love with this club, Del Boy. There was something special, magical, that even the great Liverpools and the great Man Uniteds didn't have. There was something about us. But it's gone. It's so old, and it's finished. And it hurts me, kills me. Because I know we're going nowhere, and we're going nowhere fast.
See, the thing is, Del Boy, I remember there's two things I'm going to tell you. One of them you know about because you've seen it. That documentary about Kieran Tierney, when John McGinn was going on about how he absolutely smashed that fella. He's much bigger than him, like muscly fella, and he took him out. He put him in the stand. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he'd done it within a couple of seconds, and Kieran just absolutely destroyed him. The other thing I'm going to tell you is about Brian Talbot. In the 1980 FA Cup final, now this fella would, when he got on the pitch, he would not stop running for the whole 90 minutes. It was like Duracell batteries. He would just run and run and run and run, chase people down, harass them, close them down, tackling, running up and down the pitch, scoring goals from midfield. He was a central midfield player, right? This guy, it was a hot day, and the 1980 Cup final afterwards, he got on the coach, the Arsenal coach, and he collapsed through exhaustion because he'd been running around. He's running his heart out for the club, right? And this is what I'm talking about. The guy nearly died and he had to be given oxygen, right? How many of these players are going to do that for this club?
None of them.
This is what I'm talking about. That's why I love Brian Talbot. He was one of my favourite players, him and Chippy in that team, because I knew with Brian Talbot, he was always going to give 100%. And Chippy would as well. But the thing with Chippy, he was different because he was the most talented and creative player I've ever seen on a football field. The man was an absolute genius, right? But he was as hard as nails. No one was going to take liberties with him. You know, and this is what I'm talking about. These players, they just don't have it. Our midfield is shocking. I just don't understand how it is that Emil Smith-Rowe is not able to get in that team ahead of Kai Havertz. I just don't get it. He's like light years ahead of him. And Kai Havertz isn't being used properly. If it was me, I would be training him up. I'd be getting Alan Smith to come in and training him to be a target man because of his size. He's about 2 foot taller than the rest of the players on the field. They should be, when we're away, perfect opportunity would be next week, this coming game away at Bayern Munich, right? We're going to be under the cosh in that game a lot. So the best thing to do would be have him up front and knocking long balls up to him to take pressure off the defence. He hold the ball up, bring players into play, stuff like that. But I just don't understand it. I don't think they've really got a clue what they're doing. I just think they're making it up as they go along. I just think it's shocking.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I'm going to have a very interesting conversation there, boy. I'm having an evening with 3 Arsenal legends. And I'm going to make my business to ask these lads what do they really think. And I'm going to be letting them know what I think.
I think I know where you're going.
Huh?
Is it in August?
Yeah.
I'll be going.
Are you going?
Fucking right I am, yeah.
Then I'll see you up there next month. I'll see you up. We have to meet up then, boy. That's going to be some evening.
Yeah, some evening.
So we're going to be talking to Chippy, Paul Merson, and Ray Parder. And myself for the Del Boy are going to be asking some serious questions. And we'll be doing a show after that to tell you what was being said.
Yeah.
See if you can get one of them to come on one of the shows.
Yeah, I actually will. Yeah, I'll try and get Chippy, to be honest with you, because I'll whisper sweet nothing in his ear. You know what I mean? I'll just give him a bit of Del Boy fucking thing. But I'll tell you,
But he
Ray
knows
Parler,
you.
Yeah, some of that Del Boy patter would work with him, I'm
bit of
sure.
passion, you know what I mean? A bit of Ray
He's
Parler's going to
spoken
get
to you
a fucking
before, so he'll probably recognise you. And I'm telling you, mate, he warmed to you with that day where you met him.
Yeah.
I could see he was having a good bit of crack with you, so he'll be fine, mate.
But just to be sure, take him to Dublin's finest fish and chips restaurant.
Yeah.
Del Boy, we'll work our magic on the 3 boys, so we will. I guarantee you.
100%. 100% we're getting interviews. I'll tell you that for nothing. 100% we're getting interviews with them. But come here. Go on, Kyle. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Dave. Say what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. We'll do I'm going to do a sort of a vlog. That's what I was thinking of doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then get a hold of the boys then and have them have their say, you know?
Well, so listen, we'll have plenty of chance to talk there in the meantime, boys. I hook up with you up in Dublin that evening, Del Boy, and we'll go over together and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But in the meantime, I want to be just saying straight out to them and see what to say, you know, because it's bullshit. What's going on? It's just total nonsense what's going on. You know, I don't know. You see the great players and all that, Del Boy, from the past, and you look at what we have now, and the whole thing is gone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it'd be interesting to see the likes of, I know Ray Parler and all, and Unique is saying that there he sold his soul, and I do agree with you, but even I'd like to see what he says off camera. I want to have a conversation with him off camera and then sort of do a little interview with him and see what he says on camera.
Unique. I'm telling you, man, I know Parler is what he saw, like Martin Keown and the rest of them. But like that boy, I will be chatting with him. And I will fucking pull on him. I will pull on him and I tell him exactly what I fucking think of him. Because a lot of bollocks that is.
Yeah.
Big up, Anthony.
Yeah, big up, lads. And thanks to everyone in the chat as well. And if you're new, please hit the sub button. Hit the old like as well if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it. But on that note, lads, I'm going to wrap it up. Manny, I'll just come to you. Do you want to give a shout out to your socials and stuff like that, mate?
Yeah, well, socials, first of all, do catch me on Instagram and Threads at Manny Thangaderai 1981, and on Twitter, it's Thangaderai 1981. On Twitter, you will see me ranting about Arsenal and other sports and other politics-related stuff, not quite to the level of Kyle. He doesn't need Twitter to make himself seen and heard. And obviously, when it comes to YouTube, do catch me here on Del Boy Gunner TV. Always my first, my last, my everything. Coach's Corner, Oris Talks Football, up the cherries in all departments with my good friend Craig Beasley. It's a Bournemouth fan channel, but we do the cherry-picking videos every week, and they're released on Friday. And it's always a good crack, a little bit like Saint and Greasy back in the day, which really makes me feel quite warm inside. Rich Sports, Football United, Spurs Asia TV, and also AFC Talk Show TV, and also Mr. B Talks England Cricket, Mr. B Hive Football Chat. And also big up to Warren with Warren's Team Talk. I did a wonderful interview with him about my own life as a football fan, my somewhat boring humdrum life compared to a lot of the other people he's interviewed, but I really enjoyed that. And several other channels that I can't really name because my brain's a bit fried at the moment. But one of the things I always say is that we need to make sure that we treat each other with respect on the streams we go on. And we allow people to make sure they say whatever they want to say and try not to, interrupt too much and just also avoid snide or banter or being disrespectful. Because if we can't agree to disagree without being disagreeable, there's no point in having a discussion. So treat people the way you'd like to be treated, and let's all be happy with it. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the week. Champions League football coming up. Wednesday is going to be potentially a massacre, and in fact I will be doing a watch along with Danny AFC TV for that. We always catch up for the European games, But apart from that, nothing much else to say. Hope to see you all again very soon. Hope to be back on Del Boy's channel very soon. But until then, do take care of yourselves. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. Don't do anything that the panel and I wouldn't do. But as always, farewell to thee. Goodbye and God bless to all of you.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a
Big
million.
up, man.
And Warren, do you want to give a shout out to your channel and what else you have coming up, mate?
Yeah, well, my channel's Warren's Team Talk. You can see it there on my name there. Yeah, and you can find me on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Threads, and on X as well. And what have I got coming up? Well, I'm going to be meeting up online with Diesel Arsenal very shortly, and we're going to do one of my famous interviews like I did with Kyle, yourself, Del Boy, and also with Manny, and talking about his life as a football fan. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And obviously every day I have my daily sports news show. And then at the weekend, I will be doing a match day live show, and that starts at 2:30 on a Saturday. And on Friday night, I'm going to do a very special match day live show. I'm doing it about the League of Ireland. So I'm really excited about that, because that'll be the second time I've done it. And the first one was really well received. So I'm looking forward to this one, man. So, yeah, it's going to be great. And I want to thank you as well for letting me come on the show tonight, Del Boy. I've enjoyed it. And, yeah, I just want to go on quick, just very, very briefly before I go, and make sure everyone remembers what happened 35 years ago. And we should never, ever forget it. And hopefully it will never, ever happen again. And hopefully those poor people can find peace. And I'm just absolutely delighted as well to see Mr. Walsh back. Because like I say, I have been extremely concerned about him, and it's lovely to be able to share a show with him. So fair play to you, Carl, and big up to you, my man. And we'll have a chat soon about what we were talking about on the phone the other day as well. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely, Warren. Big up to you, my friend.
Big up, Warren, and please do check Warren's channel out, and please subscribe to him. I'm 2 or 3 away from 30 likes, so please, if you haven't, hit the old like button. It does help the channel along, and I really do appreciate it. Kyle, what is the story? What's happening on your channel and socials and stuff like that?
Yeah, first of all, Del Boy, big up to you for having me on the show. It's had been magnificent. I love this show. I love the panel of guests and the chat. It's great people, great friends, great community. It's a real community. It's an honest community. This channel is honest as they come. No bullshit. No little bullshit going on. It's straight facts here. So I'd just like to say 100% big up to the chat for all the support. I hit a dark patch, Del Boy, but the likes of yourself, Del Boy, the likes of Manny, the likes of all the real legends kept me going. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Warren. Warren has been on my side. He's been checking up on me on a daily basis. And I just like to say he knows. I had a chat with him yesterday. He knows what it means to me. So just big up to you all, lads. And a huge thank you to Warren as well. And just goes to show, I never met Warren in real life, just through this community. But he's always there on the phone. And Del Boy, you're the same. And I met Del Boy on a few occasions. And there's mates of mine that wouldn't even knock my front door here. They'll be walking up and past me every day of the week. That grew up with me. That knows me all my life. So I just like to say big up to you. And that's what I'm saying. This here is honest. So I just want to say that I came off social media because I was listening to so much bullshit that I was a toxic fan. But I'm going back on it now. I didn't post any videos because I was so toxic and negative. I was talking shit. I didn't know anything about the club or didn't know nothing about football. So I like to say I'm making a comeback on my Arsenal YouTube channel. And I am starting to put videos out again because that why I'm writing everything I say. I told you that why, and everything I say just have to come true. And I also like to say here tonight, we'll go into more detail about this, but for all of those people out there that don't know, I'm actually a film critic. And I do a lot of writing about films for papers and stuff like that. So I've decided that I'm going to do a separate YouTube channel and I'm going to start doing movie reviews. Warren is after agreeing to help me do that. So I'll be hoping to get subscribers along the way. That's now in the early stages, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's what I'm doing, working on that channel, and I'm going to start putting up more content on the Arsenal channel. Because once again, I've been proved right. So that's where I am. And thanks to all the subscribers and the support, lads. I really appreciate it, and thank you all again.
Fair play.
Don't let those bastards get you down, Kyle.
Yeah,
that's it, Warren. Or that's
exactly.
it, Manny.
Thanks a million, lads. And I want to say thanks to all the panel staffing as well, and Darren, Manny, Kyle.
Dave,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'll just quickly there, Dale. I just want to back up what Warren said. I grew up as a huge football fan, but my father has been a Liverpool fan all his life. And I spoke to him earlier today about the whole thing, and it's very true. Let's not forget what happened. It was a tragedy. It was horrific. I remember watching us on TV as it all unfolded. I remember being emotionally upset. I remember my father just couldn't speak. So I just like to say, big up to Liverpool Football Club, a real club with real fans. And Lord of mercy on all those 97 people that did not deserve to die that day.
Yeah, exactly, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're football fans, we're rival fans, but at the end of the day, we're human, and like, you know, that's an absolute tragedy what happened, and I'll never forget it myself. It was like, you know, it's an awful time for the football world, let's say, you know. Hopefully that never happens again. But yeah, look, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone, guests, and especially the guys in the chat as well. Like, you know, absolute legends. You are the guys that make the show just as much as anyone on the panel here does as well. Unique's been here, Gunnar Matatu, Shaminio, Adam, you know what I mean? And the list goes on. Ryan, you know, I just can't mention everyone, like, you know, but I really love to. But as it says, anyone is more than welcome to come on, just touch base with me. And I'll definitely have you on if you want to hide your face. And just like what Warren's doing there, you've no problem. Just once you're respectful to people, that's all I ask. But yeah, 2-0 to the Villa. Where do Arsenal go from here? We have a big game on Wednesday night. I will be probably, I'm not sure if I'll do a fan cam straight after the game, but I'll probably do it on Thursday. And I'll get a few of the legends on, and anyone else who wants to just keep an eye out on the notifications on the channel. I think I'm a few away from 30 likes, if you don't mind. If, as it says, if you haven't hit the like button already, and if you haven't subscribed, I'm on the road to 1,000. I'm trying to make it as probably before the end of the season. I'd love to, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in, and I really do appreciate it. Arsenal, where do you lead us next? We will be seeing on Wednesday. Take care.
But don't you dare appoint Luke Kelly as Arsenal's next manager.
And you're talking about Damien Duff. And on that note, we fucking won't. Take care. God bless it.